Hey folks, this is Manuel from Steadybit. Today I want to introduce you into a new capability in Steadybit that will make it so much easier for you to get started with chaos engineering, roll out chaos engineering into your organization, and get everyone else started with chaos engineering. So with the recent release of Steadybit, you can actually use the advice feature within the Explorer to figure out what you need to do in order to improve the reliability of your system, maybe even without running a chaos engineering experiment, or which experiments make sense given your current configuration in order to check and improve the reliability of your system. Let me show you how this works. So within the Explorer, I'm able to activate the advice in order to get pieces of advice for each Kubernetes deployment. And you can see that some of them require action. So that basically means the configuration is not looking great compared to best practices in reliability. And we are automatically detecting these and indicate them to you in the Explorer, like Fashion Bestseller, where you can see that Fashion Bestseller doesn't have a redundant pod deployment. So the deployment only has one pod available, and it's really hard to get that one reliably working all the time. Another example is Toys Bestseller, where you can see that it actually has at least two pods running for that deployment. And we have even configured these two pods to run in two different availability zones of our AWS infrastructure so that we are likely safe in case a zone outage happens. But in order to really be safe and sure, let's run a chaos engineering experiment to check that a load balance HTTP endpoint is actually working whenever one of the zone is going down. And now, with advice, I can simply create that new experiment with just a single button click. Here we go. So that experiment is ready to be executed, but we also advise you to add some more checks to that experiment. For instance, having an HTTP check, which constantly polls an HTTP endpoint in order to check that load balancing is working within your expected success rates. Or you are adding a load test in order to have more business functionalities tested in this chaos engineering experiment. Or you maybe simply integrate with your observability tools to check whether these are actually noticing the unavailability of a zone. All that can be directly adjusted into the experiment. You execute the experiment and in the end can mark this advice as validated in order to keep track of your rollout and know where you have already checked the reliability and where you still need to do something. And of course, we not only have those two advice available, but we have actually multiple pieces of advice available. All of them can be checked out in our reliability hub, and all of them are open source. So whenever something is not working out for you, feel free to fork them or create a pull request and adjust them to your needs. And last but not least, we are having an advice kit available, which we have used for building the Steadybit best practices advice, but you can also use it on your own to add more advice. So whenever something is really specific for your context, you can simply use the advice kit, build the advice, and integrate it into your chaos engineering platform to keep track of your chaos engineering rollout. So we are really looking forward what you're going to build with all these nice capabilities. Check them out and take care.